really give a about what you say.
Yes.
Okay? I love to hear you say it, and I love to be in it.
I know.
But if you think that causes me to go right or left,
I
I'm
know.
out here doing something.
Trust me, I know.
Okay, and I
know.
just want to be straight with
No.
Oh boy, we have plenty to dive into after Jerry Jones sat down with you, Stephen A. I'm Kimberly Martin, filling in for Molly. Chris Canty, Joe Fortenbaugh here. We got a lot to get into.
Hey.
Hey.
And just smile for the cameras, let them know it's your show.
I mean, do we have certain rules?
No, we will get to the rules later, but we got a lot. We got a lot of
Is it
content,
Kimberly
guys.
A?
I'm
Is
not
it
trying to make it
Miss
about
Martin?
me,
I'm
but
just
yeah,
trying to figure it out.
It is the lovely Kimberly A.
Okay.
So just so you know, guys. All right. Okay. All right. Let's start here in the NFL, where Micah Parsons is still without a contract extension. Time is running short for a deal to get done before the start of the season, and there remains no contact between the Cowboys and their defensive star. But while Jerry Jones refuses to talk to Micah's camp, he continues to speak to the press. Stephen A., yesterday you sat down for a one-on-one with Jerry that will be released in full on your show later today. And we have a sneak peek of that interview. Let's take a listen.
There's right now about 3 entities involved in the Micah Parsons deal that really count, and that's not to dismiss everything about the organization and the Cowboys.
What are the 3 entities?
Micah, me, sitting out there, and about a mile back is that agent. These are the 2 to get it done. Always has. And these are the 2 that be sitting there working it out when it hits the fan, when it's not between the lines on that contract. That's why I'm going to do it. Micah's got agent.
Yeah. David
And that
Mulligetta,
agent-
to be exact.
And that agent is within a phone call of talking about any detail that was there and was available with any detail that was there. We have agreed on how long this is going to be, and we've agreed on the amount of guarantees it's going to be.
You and Micah.
The package is the biggest ever paid a non-quarterback. That's where we are.
Right.
That's where we are.
But, Jerry.
But because a third party, rather than me and Micah, has got to come in. Why? Because he's got to get his fingerprint on it?
Come on, Jerry.
Come on, please. He's got to get his fingerprint on it. You're not talking to the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. You're talking to the general manager of the Cowboys. And so all these teams, owners, may not be involved. But in this case, I am the general manager. My job is to do the contract. My job is to sit down. What is at issue here, Steve? What's at issue is not whether I should be negotiating the contract. The issue is who I negotiated with. We negotiate, we go back and forth, we come through, we go the next day, we negotiate, get it all done. I get a call, I don't want you to call me anymore. Mike, don't call me anymore.
He said
so
that
we
to
haven't
you?
called.
Micah Parsons said to you, I don't want you to call me anymore.
Don't call me anymore. Don't call me anymore.
After calling you,
That's correct.
and
Well,
igniting a negotiation,
and
he turns
changing our
around and
numbers,
exchanging
and we
numbers
negotiate,
and
and then don't call
negotiated.
me anymore.
And then he called you back and said, don't call, I don't want you to call me
The
anymore.
agent calls, he says, we need to start a negotiation with Micah. Guy says, well, we have negotiated, we'll send you over the deal. Proverbially, just keep it. I won't tell you where to put it, but just keep it. We're going to start a negotiation. Okay? We've had the negotiation, period.
A lot there. All right, Stephen A., what was your biggest takeaway from your conversation with the general manager of the Cowboys?
Jerry hasn't changed. Jerry is as resolute as ever. And his mentality is that I got you under contract for the next 3 years. This is last year your deal under the rookie scale, and then I can franchise tag you next year, and I can franchise tag you the year after. You ain't gonna walk around here acting like you got leverage that you don't have. I'm talking about Jerry, that's not me. I'm talking about, you asked me what my perception of where he's coming from is. His perception is that I got you locked in for 3 years. You ain't going nowhere unless I say so. And that makes obviously a lot of people uncomfortable when you're listening to Jerry Jones. I love the fact that we played that sound. And by the way, it'll be posted on my show, the Stephen A. Smith Show on YouTube, starting at 12 noon, the minute that First Take is over. That's when it'll be up on YouTube in its entirety. It's over an hour long. And I think the thing that resonated with me is that he said, I didn't call him, he called me. He wanted to start this negotiation. We had a negotiation. We agreed. And then the next thing you know, he calls on the phone and says, Don't call me anymore. I didn't hear that before. I don't know if that was the truth with Micah. I offered Micah to come on the show. Micah, he declined. He did not come on the show. I offered his agent, David Mulugeta, to come on the show. He hasn't come on the show. I'm not saying there's no negative or positive to it. I'm just letting you know. I offered all of them to come on the show. Jerry Jones didn't hesitate, and that's his position. And so, for me, it's at a standstill right now. I ultimately believe they will reach an accord because I think that Micah, I think he's going to get his money. I think that Jerry is being as stubborn as he always has been, as counterproductive as he always has been when it comes to signing contracts a little bit later than they should have been signed because you're compromising your cap. But the biggest reason I feel that way is because he is stubborn. He is unapologetic about it. He swears he's changed and modified himself to some degree. I don't believe that. I told him I haven't seen any evidence of that, Jerry. Okay? But that's where he's coming from, and that's what it is.
Well, Stephen A., this is why typically general managers and agents negotiate these contracts and not owners and players, because the owner and the player both have a vested interest. And when it comes to the business of football, they're too close to it. So having a third party that is somewhat removed from it in terms of what it means matters when it comes to getting these deals across the goal line. Now, as far as why Jerry is taking this tack with Micah, I think a part of it is the showmanship. A part of it is the soap opera and being able to maintain the business model of the Dallas Cowboys being the story in the NFL 365. Jerry Jones likened it to playing on Broadway, being a part of the Dallas Cowboys. But I do think there is an agenda that Jerry has, and it has nothing to do with football. It has everything to do with pushing back against the resurgence of player empowerment and how NFL players have tried to push the envelope to get closer in partnership with owners, comparable to what we've seen from NBA players and in that league. And Jerry Jones, God bless him for doing all of these interviews, the one great thing that happens when you talk a lot is eventually you're going to tell on yourself. And in his interview that he did with Michael Irvin on the podcast yesterday, Jerry said something that was very telling about how he views the situation, not only with Micah, but with David Mulugeta and with the NFL business model as a whole. And he said, and I quote, "At some point, someone has to have say over the other," end quote. This is about Jerry Jones asserting his position as the owner and as the tone setter for the National Football League. And it's not only with Micah Parsons in this negotiation for his football team, but it's also with David Mulugeta, his agent, who just so happens to be the man that negotiated the Deshaun Watson contract that every owner in the NFL ridiculed Jimmy Haslam for doling out. They do not want this to be what the NBA has turned into. They want to maintain this power imbalance that they have